Anussati, often translated as recollection or contemplation, is an essential aspect of Buddhist meditation practice. It involves the intentional and focused reflection on specific qualities or objects to develop wholesome mental states and spiritual progress. Anussati is an integral part of the path to liberation and is taught and practiced in various forms across different Buddhist traditions. Key characteristics of Anussati. Object of recollection. Anussati involves the recollection or contemplation of specific objects, qualities, or themes that have spiritual significance. Some common objects of Anussati include the Buddha, the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha, the Sangha, the monastic community, ethical virtue sila, generosity, death and impermanence, the breath, and various meditation subjects. Development of wholesome states. Anussati cultivates positive and wholesome mental qualities. By repeatedly recollecting these objects, the practitioner strengthens these qualities in their mind, leading to spiritual growth and transformation. Mindfulness and concentration. Anussati practice involves mindfulness sati and concentration samadhi. As the practitioner focuses their mind on the chosen object of recollection, they develop concentration and stability of mind, which is essential for gaining deeper insights and liberating wisdom. Integration with daily life. Anussati is not limited to formal meditation sessions. Practitioners are encouraged to integrate recollection into their daily life, bringing mindfulness and contemplation to various activities and interactions. Common forms of Anussati. Buddha Anussati. Reflection on the Buddha's qualities. In Buddha Anussati, practitioners contemplate the unique qualities and virtues of the Buddha. These may include his perfect wisdom prajna, boundless compassion karuna, great loving-kindness metta, profound equanimity upekkha, fearlessness, patience, and profound insight into the nature of reality, gratitude and inspiration. By recollecting the Buddha's qualities, practitioners develop a sense of gratitude and inspiration. They are inspired by the Buddha's example and his noble qualities, and aspire to emulate his teachings in their own lives. Fostering confidence. Buddha Anussati fosters confidence in the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dharma, the teachings, and the Sangha, the monastic community. Through this practice, practitioners build faith in the Buddha as an awakened teacher and guide on the path to liberation. Cultivating devotion. This practice often involves a sense of devotion and reverence towards the Buddha. Devotional practices, such as offering flowers, incense, and chanting verses of homage, are also associated with Buddha Anussati. Buddha Anussati can be practiced in various ways, depending on individual inclinations and the specific tradition. Recitation of verses. Practitioners may recite verses or gathas praising the Buddha's virtues and accomplishments. Examples of such verses can be found in traditional Buddhist texts and scriptures. Visualization. Meditators may visualize the image of the Buddha or imagine being in the presence of the Buddha, observing his radiant and compassionate form. Contemplation of teachings. Another approach is to reflect on the profound teachings of the Buddha, such as the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, or the teachings on impermanence and non-self. Development of qualities. Practitioners may also aspire to develop the same qualities and virtues that the Buddha exemplified, incorporating them into their own lives. Dharma Anussati. Reflection on the Buddha's teachings. In Dharma Anussati, practitioners contemplate the core teachings of the Buddha, such as the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, the Law of Dependent Origination, Paticca, the three characteristics of existence: impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self, and the practices of mindfulness and insight. Understanding impermanence. One of the central themes of Dharma Anussati is the contemplation of impermanence anicca. This reflection helps practitioners realize the ever-changing nature of existence and encourages them to seek lasting peace and liberation. Gratitude for the teachings. By recollecting the Dharma, practitioners develop a sense of gratitude for the Buddha's profound teachings, which provide guidance on how to end suffering and attain enlightenment. Integration into daily life. Dharma Anussati is not limited to formal meditation sessions. Practitioners are encouraged to integrate the Dharma into their daily lives, applying the teachings to their thoughts, speech, and actions. Dharma Anussati can be practiced in various ways, depending on individual inclinations and the specific tradition. Recitation of suttas. Practitioners may recite passages or suttas from the Pali Canon that contain the Buddha's teachings, focusing on their meaning and significance. Contemplation of core concepts. Another approach is to reflect on the essential concepts of the Dharma, such as the Four Noble Truths or the Noble Eightfold Path, and consider their practical application in daily life. Mindful reflection. Practitioners may mindfully reflect on specific teachings throughout the day, observing their relevance and impact on their experiences and actions. Integration of teachings. Dharma Anussati involves applying the Dharma to daily situations, making conscious efforts to align one's life with the teachings. Sangha Anussati. Gratitude and respect. Sangha Anussati involves cultivating a sense of gratitude and respect towards the monastic community. Practitioners reflect on the Sangha's renunciation of worldly life, their commitment to ethical conduct, and their efforts in preserving and spreading the teachings of the Buddha. Inspiration and aspiration. By recollecting the virtues and accomplishments of the Sangha, practitioners gain inspiration for their own practice. They aspire to follow the example set by the monastic Sangha in cultivating wholesome qualities and progressing on the path to enlightenment. Refuge in the Triple Gem. The Sangha is one of the three jewels, or triple gem of Buddhism, along with the Buddha and the Dharma. By contemplating the Sangha's qualities, practitioners reinforce their faith and confidence in the Triple Gem, a reliable refuge. On their spiritual journey. Connection and unity. Sangha Anussati helps practitioners develop a sense of connection and unity with the monastic community and the wider spiritual community of practitioners. It fosters a spirit of harmony and support among all who are walking the path of Dharma. Sangha Anussati can be practiced in various ways, depending on individual inclinations and the specific tradition. Recitation of verses. Practitioners may recite verses or gathas praising the virtues of the Sangha, expressing gratitude for their guidance, and seeking inspiration in their own practice. Contemplation of qualities. Another approach is to reflect on the qualities of the monastic Sangha, such as their dedication to ethical conduct, meditation practice, and the preservation of the teachings. Connection with monastic communities. Practitioners may actively engage with monastic communities, attending Dharma talks, offering support, and participating in rituals and ceremonies. Integration into daily life. Sangha Anussati involves incorporating an appreciation for the monastic Sangha into daily life, showing kindness and respect towards monastics, and supporting their spiritual endeavors. Sila Anussati. Reflection on ethical precepts. In Sila Anussati, practitioners contemplate the ethical precepts they have undertaken. These precepts typically include abstaining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, and the use of intoxicants. By recollecting their commitment to these precepts, practitioners reaffirm their determination to live a life of integrity and moral conduct. Awareness of actions. Sila Anussati involves mindful reflection on one's actions, speech, and thoughts throughout the day. Practitioners contemplate whether their conduct aligns with the ethical precepts, and consider the consequences of their actions on themselves and others. Gratitude and joy. By recollecting their commitment to ethical conduct, practitioners develop a sense of gratitude for the protection and well-being it offers. Observing the benefits of virtuous living brings a sense of joy and inner peace. Purification of mind. Sila Anussati contributes to the purification of the mind, as virtuous conduct leads to a sense of moral well-being and self-respect. This purification creates a foundation for the development of concentration and insight in meditation practice. Sila Anussati can be practiced in various ways, depending on individual inclinations and the specific tradition. Recitation of precepts. Practitioners may recite the ethical precepts they have undertaken, focusing on the intention to observe them faithfully. Reflection on actions. Another approach is to reflect on one's actions and speech throughout the day, considering whether they align with the ethical precepts and whether they contribute to the welfare of oneself and others. Contemplation of virtues. Practitioners may contemplate the positive qualities and virtues that arise as a result of ethical living, such as trustworthiness, honesty, and kindness. Integration into daily life. Sila Anussati involves integrating ethical conduct into daily life, making conscious efforts to act with integrity and compassion in all situations. Dana Anussati. The recollection on liberality involves reflecting on acts of generosity and giving that one has performed in the past or intends to perform in the present and future. It is a recollection of the virtues of giving, sharing, and selflessness. Reflecting on generosity. The practitioner recollects acts of giving, charitable actions, and selfless contributions made to others, whether in material or non-material forms. Cultivating gratitude. This practice includes feeling gratitude for the opportunities to give and support others, as well as for the joy and satisfaction that arise from generous actions, inspiring further generosity. Recollection on liberality serves to inspire practitioners to continue cultivating generosity and to develop a generous and compassionate heart. Contemplation on one's own liberality involves contemplating one's own past acts of giving and the positive effects that have arisen from those acts. This practice aims to deepen the appreciation for the virtues of generosity. Reflecting on the impact of giving, the meditator contemplates the positive effects and benefits that have arisen from their past acts of generosity. This could include feelings of joy, the strengthening of relationships, and the alleviation of suffering in others. Recognizing the power of giving. This practice helps the practitioner understand the transformative power of generosity and its potential to create positive changes in both the giver and the receiver. Cultivating humility. Contemplation on one's own liberality fosters humility and a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to give and make a positive impact in the lives of others. Deva Anussati. Contemplation of heavenly realms. In Deva Anussati, practitioners reflect on the existence of devas in heavenly realms, which are believed to be higher planes of existence characterized by immense beauty, bliss, and tranquility. Virtues of devas. Practitioners contemplate the virtues and merits that lead beings to be reborn in heavenly realms, such as the cultivation of generosity, ethical conduct, loving kindness, and meditation. Aspiring for higher realms. Deva Anussati can inspire practitioners to aspire to attain higher states of existence and cultivate the qualities that lead to rebirth in celestial realms. Cultivating gratitude. By recollecting the devas and their virtues, practitioners develop gratitude for the opportunity to practice the Dharma and for the conditions that support their spiritual journey. Deva Anussati can be practiced in various ways, Depending on individual inclinations and the specific tradition, visualization, practitioners may visualize the celestial realms and imagine the bliss and beauty of the devas residing there. Contemplation of virtues. Another approach is to contemplate the virtues and merits that lead beings to be reborn in heavenly realms and aspire to cultivate these qualities in one's own life. Recitation of verses. Some practitioners recite verses or gathas praising the virtues and qualities of the devas to generate a sense of inspiration and aspiration. Reflection on transience. Deva Anussati can also include reflection on the impermanence of the celestial realms, reminding practitioners of the importance of cultivating liberation and wisdom. It's important to note that in Buddhist teachings, attaining rebirth in higher realms, including the heavenly realms of the devas, is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate aim of Buddhist practice is the attainment of enlightenment and liberation from the cycle of birth and death, samsara. Devotees who practice Deva Anussati do so with the understanding that heavenly rebirth is still within the cycle of samsara, and the most significant goal is to develop the path to liberation, which transcends all realms of existence. Deva Anussati serves as a skillful means to inspire positive qualities and deepen one's commitment to the path of Dharma. Maranasati. Contemplation of impermanence. Maranasati involves reflecting on the impermanent nature of life and the certainty of death. By contemplating death, practitioners come to understand that life is transient and subject to change, and that death is an essential part of the natural cycle of existence. Sense of urgency. This practice fosters a sense of urgency in the spiritual journey. By recognizing the impermanence of life, practitioners realize the importance of making the most of the present moment to cultivate wholesome qualities and progress on the path to liberation. Letting go of attachments. Contemplating death helps practitioners detach from the clinging to worldly concerns and material possessions. It encourages them to focus on what truly matters and develop a deeper sense of inner peace and contentment. Appreciation of life. Paradoxically, Maranasati also brings an appreciation for life itself. By understanding the finite nature of life, practitioners value each moment and use their time wisely to pursue spiritual growth and the cultivation of compassion and wisdom. Maranasati can be practiced in various ways, depending on individual inclinations and the specific tradition. Awareness of death. Practitioners may contemplate the certainty of death and the unpredictability of the time of death. This reflection helps to break the illusion of permanence and encourages one to focus on the present moment. Visualization. Another approach is to visualize the process of death and the dissolution of the physical body. This contemplation helps one to recognize the impermanence and insubstantiality of the body and all material things. Reflection on the four requisites. Some practitioners reflect on the four requisites of life, food, clothing, shelter, and medicine to remind themselves of the basic needs that sustain life and the fragility of the human existence. Loving kindness and compassion. Maranasati can also be practiced in conjunction with loving kindness and compassion meditation, where practitioners reflect on the impermanence of life for all beings, wishing them well on their journey beyond death. Kayakata Anussati. Contemplation on the 32 impure parts of the body. This practice involves reflecting on the unattractive aspects of the body by contemplating its 32 impure parts. The aim is to overcome attachment to the physical form and develop equanimity and detachment. The 32 impure parts of the body include various aspects, such as hair of the head, body hair, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, bones, etc. The practitioner contemplates each part individually, recognizing their impermanent and unattractive nature. contemplating one part at a time. The meditator reflects on each impure part of the body separately, acknowledging its impermanent and unattractive nature. Seeing beyond superficial beauty, by observing the impure parts, the practitioner gains insight into the true nature of the body and transcends the tendency to be attached to superficial beauty or external appearance. Developing dispassion through this contemplation, the meditator develops dispassion towards the body, recognizing it as impermanent and subject to decay. These practices are aimed at cultivating wisdom, reducing clinging to the physical body, and understanding the reality of impermanence. By gaining insight into the nature of the body, practitioners develop a clearer understanding of the true nature of existence and the path to liberation from suffering. Anussati, mindfulness of in-breath and out-breath. Practitioners direct their attention to the natural rhythm of the breath, being aware of the breath as it enters and leaves the body. Awareness of the entire breath cycle. The meditator maintains continuous mindfulness throughout the entire breath cycle, from the beginning of the in-breath to the end of the out-breath. Calming the mind. As the meditator continues to observe the breath, the mind naturally calms and becomes more focused and concentrated. Developing stillness and tranquility. With sustained practice, the mind becomes more tranquil, leading to a state of deep concentration and one-pointedness, insight and awareness. As the meditator develops stable concentration, insights into the impermanent, unsatisfactory, and non-self nature of phenomena may arise. By practicing mindfulness of breathing, meditators develop a focused and composed mind, leading to clarity and understanding. The practice of Anussati can also serve as a foundation for other insight meditation practices and the cultivation of other wholesome mental states, such as loving kindness and compassion. The recollection of peace and contemplation on the virtue of nibbana. The recollection of peace involves bringing to mind and reflecting on the peace, tranquility, and freedom that arise from the practice of meditation, and the realization of nibbana. Reflecting on meditation, the practitioner recollects the peaceful and serene states experienced during meditation, particularly during deep states of concentration jhana. Remembrance of calmness. The meditator recalls the tranquility and stillness of the mind when it is free from distractions and hindrances, contemplating absence of mental defilements. This practice involves reflecting on the peace that arises when the mind is free from defilements like greed, hatred, and delusion. Contemplation on the virtue of nibbana involves reflecting on the supreme liberation and ultimate goal of Buddhist practice, which is the attainment of nibbana, the cessation of suffering and the end of the cycle of birth and death samsara. Reflecting on the unsurpassed peace. The practitioner contemplates the unsurpassed peace and freedom from suffering that arises upon the realization of nibbana. Focusing on liberation, the meditator reflects on the virtue of nibbana as the complete liberation from all forms of suffering and the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Cultivating aspiration. This practice inspires practitioners to develop a strong aspiration to attain nibbana and deepen their commitment to the path of practice. These practices support the cultivation of wisdom, compassion, and the realization of the Four Noble Truths, leading to the cessation of suffering and the attainment of nibbana. Anussati is a versatile and profound practice that serves as a powerful tool for developing mindfulness, concentration, and wholesome qualities in the mind. By engaging in regular Anussati, practitioners can purify their minds, cultivate positive mental states, and progress on the path to liberation and enlightenment.